They arrived in Abu Dhabi. Corniche marked the end of their incredible 1,600-kilometer trip, and British adventurer Adrian Hayes is here to tell us more about it. Welcome back, Adrian.
Thank you.
It's good to see you again after a good 2 months.
It's great to be in a suit for the first time in 2 months.
Yes, after 2 months.
There's sand coming out of every orifice in my
I think
body.
we should just shake you a little and we'll have sand all over the place.
Mess up your settee a bit.
Now, just to remind our viewers, Adrian Hayes has set 2 Guinness World Records for reaching the North Pole, South Pole and Mount Everest in the shortest time, in addition to the Arctic's longest unsupported snow kiting expedition to date. And now you're back after your 44-day trekking trip to the world's largest desert. Tell us all about it.
Well, it was a pretty special experience. I think unique. I mean, so many of us have been in this region for so long, but we saw sights and met people that so few of us have the opportunity. So it was very, very special.
Hazy, before we get into the particulars of what you saw, what you did, just remind us again and remind the viewers of the intention of this trip. Now, it was to partly coincide with the 40th anniversary celebrations for National Day. Yeah,
I mean, it was a footsteps of Thestia did the first crossing of the empty core in 1947. And we wanted to do, I've thought this idea for 18 years or so, and I thought 2 years in planning, it took 2 years to come together. But the idea was to do a footsteps, not a reenaction, because you can't reenact what he did 65 years ago, but to go in his footsteps and see what it's like, basically. So that was the idea. Small team, load of camels, and trek across the desert.
And did everything go as per plans, or did you have to break a few rules here and there?
Well, day one, we got all of 10 kilometres when Pfizer, the one-woman camel in our team, never take a woman on an expedition, sorry, decided to,
I don't know about that.
decided to buck me and threw me off, and I've got a hole in my head. You can possibly see there, a scar the size of 13 stitches. And so that didn't go, so we went to, I was in Salalah Hospital for a day. Gaffan was also in hospital with concussion, so I was concussed and blood everywhere. But actually this camel had the last laugh on Abu Dhabi beach yesterday. It went loopy, got some string around it, and it was going mental. And people were diving for cover. And I said, that's the camel that threw me. So she's a bit temperamental.
Okay. You travelled with 2 Emiratis as well, who were also retracing the footsteps. Obviously, they unfortunately can't be with us here this evening. But how about the relationship that you guys built up over that trip?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. I mean, I do speak Arabic, and it got better as the trip went on. I selected these guys from the UAE Armed Forces, and mainly because they were camel farmers, they're Bedu, but above all, they wanted to do the trip. And we had a great rapport, a lot of banter, a lot of laughter. We had some Omani riders with us, a lot of people joining us at various stages, but it was great, and I've got nothing but praise for these guys. You know, we were riding 10, 11 hours a day, 50 kilometres, so it's not easy riding a camel, which is why I'm sitting on one of your cushions, and I'm going to borrow that one if I sit any longer, please. Anyway, so it's not easy riding 10 or 11 hours a day. You know, it's long distances.
In terms of the achievements, I mean, we've seen, you know, it did it in an amazing time, 44 days. You've travelled a huge amount of a huge length in that period. But I mean, this is Adrian Hayes. You've been to the top of the world. You've been to the North Pole, the South Pole. You've broken records left, right and centre. Was there what surprised you most about this particular trip?
Well, unlike the ice caps, there's not much water. And I think, you know, the desert, it's a beautiful but brutal place. And I think what surprised me is camels. They're remarkable animals, but pushing them as hard as we did, you had to give them food and water. And after 3 days without food and water, they were pretty much going pretty tired. So a realisation of camels, like all humans, need fuel. But it was very different. I mean, it's a living country. There's lots of people. The ice caps are deserted. It wasn't about making records. It was about making a documentary which would come out probably worldwide about April, May, and writing the book, which I'm writing as well on the journey.
But what was that like as well? Because obviously in previous challenges, it's been a real personal challenge. You know, you and your team against the elements, up against it. This time you had to perform for the cameras. Is that the right phrase to use or not? Yeah,
I mean, they were there. I don't mind cameras, you know.
Neither do we.
You just ignore them, but just talk. And so they would just come in, and I'd just be natural. But then they'd ask. I'd read a passage from Arabian Sands, Thestia's book, which was relevant to that place we were, and you'd talk, and there'd be interviews. I had a podcam wrote personal diary about how I'm feeling emotional, all these things. So you captured it all. And they're award-winning, 24 Productions UK, they're award-winning production companies, so I'm sure they'll make a great documentary.
Tell us some of the highlights of your trip. I mean, of course, besides being thrown off a camel, which is quite interesting.
It's quite high up, Ash, yes. Yeah. I think the highlights were the Bedouin hospitality that we encountered. I mean, we were expecting some, but they travel from Ks and Ks and miles to greet us. They really had this respect for Thesiger and his journeys. And we recorded the highest respect. Camels were sacrificed, you know, these massive spreads. So that was a highlight.
And Thesiger was named Mubarak bin London by the Bedouins. Did they give you a name as well?
I got one now a year ago when I started playing Abu Ali.
Abu
which
Ali?
is son of Ali,
Right.
father of Ali. That's right. So that was my Abu Ali. So everyone knew me as Abu Ali, and the Oman TV crew is a lot.
Well, Abu Ali, thank you very much indeed for being with us here
Shukran
today.
jazilan.
Now listen, AdrianHayes.com is the website you want to get yourself onto, or of course Adrian's Facebook page, which he updates all the time, so get yourself onto that. But give me a word exclusive. What's next?
Top secret, but it won't be camels the length of UK. I think I'll leave that one. I'll leave the camel riding for...
Or what about break Tom Cruise's record and jump off the Burj Khalifa?
No, there's an idea. If you both join me, I'm willing to give it a go.
All right.
Adrian,
okay.
bless you. Thanks so much indeed. All the best and congratulations on another amazing achievement.
Thank you.